Yes, good morning, students. Today we are going to start our next part of chapter Neural Control and Coordination, plus one class. In the previous part 1 and part 2, it was discussed that the definition of control and coordination and the structure of neuron, and now we start with central nervous system. Central nervous system is the main commanding area, or you can say all our body activities is under the control of central nervous system. It acts as a command and control. It control the voluntary movement. Voluntary movements are those which are under the control of animal wills, means these movement are, you can say, take place with the help of human will, and some involuntary movement are also under the control of central nervous system. Central nervous system consists of two main component of body, brain and spinal cord. Thermoregulation is also the function. Thermoregulation means to maintain the body temperature. Human behavior is also regulated by central nervous system, and the sight of vision, sight of hearing, sight of speech, sight of memory, intelligence, emotion, thought, these comes under the central nervous system. So central nervous system consists of two main part, brain and spinal cord. Brain is enclosed in a bony cover known as cranium, or you can say skull. Skull is that area, or you can say skull is the bone, cranium is the bone which cover the brain. And brain has three layers known as Mannings, and the three layers named as pia mater, arachnoid and dura mater. Dura mater is outermost, then arachnoid membrane, and then pia mater membrane. Three membranes combine to form the covering of brain, generally represent with the single word Mannings. Next, brain can be divided. Yes, brain can be divided into three main portions: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. This is just the same, you can say, the concept or same explanation that was used in 10th class in chapter control and coordination. So we study about forebrain, the component of forebrain and the function of forebrain. And second, then we study about midbrain, the parts of midbrain and the function, and then at the end we will discuss about hindbrain. So forebrain consists of cerebrum, thalamus and hypothalamus. Forebrain consists of three main portion, cerebrum, thalamus and hypothalamus. Yes, you can see this is the structure of human brain, and human brain has outer area known as cerebral cortex, and human brain, or you can say brain is divided into two hemisphere known as cerebral hemisphere, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, and these right and left are connected with you can say tract known as corpus callosum. Corpus callosum connect the two hemisphere of brain. Then midbrain is present, and you can see in the labeling cerebellum given, and pons, medulla. From medulla spinal cord originate. In the figure you can see thalamus is also given. Now cerebral cortex. Cortex means if we we want to know the meaning of cortex. Cortex is a Latin word which comes from bark. This is because the cortex is a sheet of tissue that makes up the outer layer of brain. In the previous slide, the labeling was given cerebral cortex, and I was telling you that cerebral cortex is the outer part, outermost layer of the brain, and the right and left sides of cerebral cortex are connected by a thick band of nerve known as corpus callosum. Yes, you can see here corpus callosum connect the left and right part of brain in this figure. Next, in higher animals such as human, the cerebral cortex look like it has many bumps. Means cerebral cortex has ups and downs in the structure, and upward fold is generally known as gyri, and the downward fold, you can say depression or groove is known as sulci. I am again repeating, gyri is for upward, you can say elevation, and downward elevation is known as sulci or sulcus. Generally, the function of cerebral cortex is it help in thinking, voluntary movements, language, reasoning, perceptions. These are the general function of cerebral cortex area of a brain. Now, this is very important slide. In this, cerebral cortex is divided on the basis of its functional, you can say, capacity. You can see the green one part represent the prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex means the you can say the first part of a frontal area, or you can say cortex area is known as prefrontal cortex. And you can see here the orange one is motor association area, and the brown one is sensory association area, and the pink one is visual association area. And in occipital means in the hindbrain, visual cortex is there, and auditory cortex is also given here. Auditory association area is also given in the gray color. What does the word auditory? Auditory means the sense of hearing. So sense of hearing is associated with this area. Speech area, we deliver the speech with the help of this particular sensation or sensory area. And visual association area is with respect to the vision, or you can say occipital area. So these are the functional division of cerebral cortex. On the basis of function, the cortex is divided into sensory area or motor area. In mainly sensory area, the sensations are received, and in motor area, the working is generated with respect to the sensation received by the brain. Now, function of thalamus. Function of thalamus is, it is a sensory relay center. It is the crude center for perception of sensation. Means the information received by this area, you can say the perception is done by thalamus area. Alertness, language, emotional, sexual behavior, and reflex activity center is located in you can say thalamus part. And some sensory impulses, motor functions, and visceral and somatic functions are also under the control of this thalamus part of a brain. Next is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is major, or you can say a main portion of brain which is mainly control the body temperature. As we know, human has a body temperature of 37 degree. So 37 degree temperature constant is maintained by this hypothalamus, or we can say that it just act as a thermostat. So hypothalamus maintain the body temperature. You can see in the function is given in the corner area. The function of hypothalamus is to maintain the body temperature. Some emotions are also controlled by this hypothalamus. Hunger, thirst, or circadian rhythms are also controlled by this hypothalamus part of a brain. Next is hippocampus. Hippocampus is the part of a limbic system, and mainly it is the site where memory and learning take place. And generally our emotional behavior is also, you can say, governed by or maintained by this hippocampus area. Yes, the limbic system. Limbic system is the group of structure that include the inner part of cerebral hemisphere and amygdala and hippocampus. Means all three components combine to form a complete system known as limbic system. And these areas are important for controlling the emotional response to given situation. Means with respect to some situation, what are the response given by a particular person, means how a person respond towards a particular situation of life. This is governed by this limbic system. And hippocampus is also important for memory. And limbic system with the help of hypothalamus portion mainly involved in sexual behavior, sexual arousal, and expression of emotions such as love, fear, fight, pleasure, affection, motivation. All these functions are under the control of this limbic system. Next is midbrain. Midbrain is located between hypothalamus of forebrain and pons of hindbrain. Means midbrain is located in between fore and hindbrain. And this midbrain has four swelling known as corpora quadrigemina. General function of midbrain is to transmit the message from fore to hind. Means it help for the transfer of message from forebrain to the hindbrain. And other functions are vision, audition, eye movement, and body movement is also controlled by this midbrain portion. Yes. Next is brainstem. The portion of midbrain and hindbrain combine to form a brainstem, and the function of brainstem is to maintain the breathing, heart rate, blood pressure. So brainstem help in maintaining this function also. And when we ask about what is a brainstem, then we have to mention the portion of midbrain and hindbrain combine to form a brain stem. Next is hindbrain. Hindbrain is known as cerebellum. Hindbrain consists of pons, cerebellum, and medulla. Hindbrain consists of pons, cerebellum, and medulla. Cerebellum further divided into hemispheres, and it has a cortex area also. Medulla is the portion of hindbrain by which spinal cord arise. This is a very important question. From which part of brain spinal cord arises? Then we have to mention medulla portion. And the general function of hindbrain is to control the respiration or cardiovascular activities, gastric secretion, movement, balance, posture is maintained by this hindbrain portion. Now, next is reflex action and reflex arc. What is reflex action? Suppose we touch a hot object, then suddenly we remove our hand without our, you can say, processing. Means within a fraction of second we remove our limbs from hot object or sharp object. So what is the mechanism behind this? The mechanism is reflex action. I am again repeating. If a person withdraw his hand when it is touched by any stimulus, the process is known as reflex action, or we can again define with the next definition. Reflex action is sudden, or you can say unconscious response towards stimulus, and the pathway, means the pathway by which reflex action take place, is known as reflex arc. Means our skin act as a receptor, and this receptor sense the you can say impulse, means the hotness, the coldness, or the sharp object is filled or is, you can say, feel by the receptor or the skin part, and the message is received by sensory neuron, and it will travel towards the CNS part, means it will travel towards the spinal cord area, and in spinal cord area this message is, you can say, interpreted or analyzed, and with the help of motor neuron this message will travel towards the effector muscles, and muscle contraction will take place, so that our limbs suddenly you can say move from the site of injury or site of area. So this pathway, means the receptor, the sensory neuron, you can say the spinal cord area, and the motor neuron, this pathway represented here represent the reflex arc. So generally if we ask reflex arc, so just we have to mention that the pathway followed by reflex action is known as reflex arc. Thank you.